everyone, welcome to this watercolor tutorial where we go over painting a realistic candy cane using just beginner-friendly techniques. We go over the scooping technique for a highlight and then putting down your shadows and also how to deal with the curve of a candy cane. Let's get started. Painting candy canes honestly is my favorite. And I'm going to show you a fun trick to how to really just make this pop. So you're going to use almost like a gray blue color. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the wet on wet technique. So I'm going to come in with just water. My brush is still a little murky from mixing up that color. Now, when you're doing this, this is super, super, super important that you are not saturating your page with water. If you have too much water on your brush, you're going to have very little control of where your watercolor will go. So I'm filling in with my water. I can even come in with a damp brush and just lift up any of that excess water that might be there. That way we just have more control. So now that I have this done, I'm going to come around my edges and just touch different points and just let that color bleed into my water towards my center. Again, if you have too much water down, you're going to find that this just goes absolutely everywhere. Like some points right here, I can already tell I have too much water in that spot because that's exactly what it's doing. I want to leave my center nice and open. Okay. If you have very little control over where your color is going, just get a damp brush and you can literally just scoop up the middle with a damp brush. And now we have our shadow. And I am going to dry this. So you're going to have two brushes handy for this technique. So I'm going to start from the bottom. And I'm going to start painting kind of like on an angle almost. My design. Okay, so once we have our design down like this with your other brush that just has a little bit of damp water, you're going to come in your center and you can just scoop just like what we did. And then you can also use a darker color. Ooh, it could just be more red if you'd like, or it can be purple, and touch the edges and let that blend. And you're gonna find this really does help create some curve to your candy cane and also just help it look a little bit more realistic. So I'm gonna do this all the way up. So going at like a slight angle here. I don't know what is wrong with me today. I keep painting with too much water. There we go. Get rid of everything on my brush, scoop the center, and then I can plug down and touch the edges with that dark color. Okay, and I'm going to do this all the way up. So as you're going around the corner, or the edge, whatever you want to call it, you're going to start at this part right in here. You're going to do a little line, and then you're going to just make it thicker towards the top. This will just help it look curved. And then you just do the same thing. You're going to scoop. Put your shadow. So same thing again. You're going to come around, make it shorter towards the inside curve. Okay, there we have it. This is our realistic candy cane. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and check out my other videos. Happy painting!